Hi everyone, I've been looking at the videos or at the notes I make when I look at the comments you leave me, and I always write down the suggestions you give for video topics, and I decided to do a series on topics that you've requested. So today we're talking about hand rejuvenation. Before I get started though, if you wouldn't mind clicking the like button, and feel free to share this video with your friends, and of course if you enjoy skincare and aesthetics videos, please feel free to subscribe. So with that out of the way, let's talk about our hands. As we know, the first signs of aging are usually underneath our eyes where the skin is very thin and sensitive. But whether we spend a lot of time on our skincare or very little time on skincare, many of us neglect to think about hand care really, and most often we just slap on a moisturizer if our hands are dry, and that's sort of the end of it. So very often our hands are actually one of the first body parts that really do show signs of aging. And so I wanted to share with you today some really good products and tips and tricks for maintaining really youthful hands, and also of course some in-office procedures you can think about if you're interested. When we look at options for hand products, there are so many different products, and truthfully many of them are actually very good. So how do we choose really what we're looking for? And how do we select the right product for us? And I think it actually depends on the time of day, because when you're active and busy, you don't want greasy hands. And when you're going to bed, you also don't want to get grease all over your sheets. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is showing you these little white gloves. They're like the maid or the butler gloves. I got these on Amazon, and they're just cotton, and they're fantastic if you just glob on. I don't slug, I don't even like the word slugging, but I think for hands it's okay. So if you slug your hands full of cream and you put your hands in here, it's cotton, so it's breathable, but it won't, the products won't stain your sheets because they'll absorb into the cotton, and the cotton has contact with your hands. So throughout the night, that product and from the warmth of your hands will continue to absorb into the skin. So I think that this is a really important tip, no matter what the hand cream that you choose. Having said that, I actually often will layer hand creams. So if I have a light hand cream that I use throughout the day, and in the evening I really want to get extra moisture, first I will apply more like hydrators, what we think of for the face as hydrators. And once I've applied all the hydration, then on top I will put something occlusive, more similar to a Vaseline type product. Now, as you know, I do favor cruelty-free. Now I'm more aware of it than ever before, so I really do think about that when I shop. If you're not concerned about cruelty-free, then sky's the limit. There are so many good products, like Vanny Cream is excellent. I even have some here. Which one? Caudalie has a good hand cream, but it isn't cruelty-free. And the other one is Naturalia, and this is actually a heel balm, but it doesn't matter, and especially if it's going in the gloves. But this also is not cruelty-free. So some excellent daily hydration products. I talk about this one a lot, and it is one of my favorites, and that is the Alastin Transform. This product has the trihex technology I frequently talk about, which is basically a technology of peptides that helps the skin matrix get rid of the old, broken, degraded collagen and stimulate the synthesis of new collagen. So this would be the product that I use to encourage collagen production and rejuvenation of the hands, more so than for hydration purposes. And this goes on very light, it's not greasy, so it's ideal for everyday use. And I always have this on my nightstand, so if I'm just doing a a quick hand cream and I'm not using the gloves, then this is the one I reach for. And this is probably the priciest product of all the ones I will talk about today. I do have to give a special mention to the Borage line from Shikai. These hydrators, moisturizers are really very, very excellent, and they're even really helpful in eczema, in treating skin for eczema. They really help restore the skin barrier. And the ingredient in here that is so magical is actually the borage oil from the borage plant, which contains gamma-linoleic acid. So that is the key ingredient in all the borage products that really help support skin health. Other ingredients in here include rooibos extract, safflower seed oil, and glycerin. So these are excellent for the night, and also if you're going to use the gloves, then these would be the first products that I would put on, unless I was using Transform. This is so light. It's kind of like layering skincare on the face. If you think about using the most watery products, putting those on first, and then leaving the occlusives for last, it's a similar idea. So this absorbs really easily, and this will give me my peptides, and then these provide rich hydration and protection of the skin barrier, and then you'll layer that on top with, it could be Vaseline or some sort of petroleum. Another product that I love, actually this whole line, if you know of Weleda or Weleda, I actually used this whole line for my baby when he was tiny. These are fragranced with natural essential oils, but if you don't like fragrance, you will not enjoy this product. But they are really good quality and very natural and very hydrating. There are people who use this on their face. I would never do that myself. I suppose if you have extremely dry skin and your face literally does not produce a drop of oil, you could think about it. Otherwise, I don't think it's a great idea. But some of the ingredients in here are, again, safflower seed oil, glycerin, sweet almond oil, and linoleic acid. So a lot of the ingredients, if you start reading ingredients for hand creams, you will find a lot of similar ingredients. Shea butter is a very common one. Safflower seed oil is a common one. Glycerin is almost in everything because it's a wonderful humectant, so that's a very common one. So just choose the texture, and if it's a light cream, you just apply that in the day, and if it's heavier in the day, you can just protect your bedding with a pair of gloves. So what can you do to help your hands at the office? Well, actually there are a few things you can do. For the attention of the skin itself, a CO2 laser or Fraxel laser, or any resurfacing laser, is a great idea to refresh the skin, stimulate collagen, exactly the same idea as on the face. Another thing that you can get done is once the tendons start to show, once the hands sort of lose their subcutaneous fat, you can have a filler injected just underneath the skin to sort of fill the hollowness, and that gives a more youthful appearance. And the most common product used for that is Radiesse, which is a calcium hydroxylapatite filler. And another one that can be used is a hyaluronic acid filler. That one doesn't last as long, and it doesn't stimulate your own body to produce collagen as much as Radiesse, but both are good and both are reasonable options. And if you're just getting your feet wet or your hands wet, you might want to start with a hyaluronic acid filler, because that, number one, can be dissolved, and number two, it will resolve and the effects will go away quicker. So I think those would be my top recommendations for hand rejuvenation. And I didn't mention scrubs, but I don't really recommend scrubs for hands because we use our hands so much and we wash them so many times a day and we're touching things all the time that I don't really think we need more exfoliation than we get just through the events of daily living. But that is something else you could consider. I think the most important thing with hands is just hydration and maintenance of the skin. And if you want your skin, if you want to boost the collagen production in your skin, you can use skincare like this that stimulates collagen production, or you can go into the office and do a resurfacing laser procedure. So those are my tips and tricks. I'd love to know if I missed anything. Do you have any tips and tricks that you recommend? I'd love it if you share them. Leave me a comment below. I look forward to chatting with you guys in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.